What is up, YouTube? It is once again Topic Tuesday, and I am Raven. I am here with Danny, Mika, Ray, and a new person we've yet to have on this channel, Tora. Say hi, guys.
Woo!
Jesus,
Howdy, howdy.
So today's topic is dreams, and for this Topic Tuesday is going to consist of two portions. The first being dreams we have for the future and this real life stuff, and the other half is going to be the silliness that comes to our minds while we're asleep. So let's start with Mika. What kind of dreams do you have for the future? Like, where do you want your life to go? Plan on taking it? All that kind of stuff.
Well, I don't know. Like, I definitely want to be working soon. Oh god, damn it. Because I want to go to Disney World, and can't do that without money. Just,
You've heard it here, folks. His dream is to go to Disney World. Why Disney
Hey.
World?
There's a lot of nostalgia there for me with Disney World. It's the first place I ever went to in America, and not only that, when I went, I was kind of too small to kind of go on most things that were there, which is upsetting. So it'd be nice, and also Galaxy's Edge opening there is cool. I love Star Wars, so having all that there is would be fun.
Gotcha. Tora, what
So
about
there's a lot of
you?
nostalgia. Oh, and I want to go for my 25th birthday, which is in like 2 years' time, because when I turn 25, Disney World turns 50.
Tora, what about you?
Honestly, dreams for the future is keeping it simple, just to still be around. Hopefully be in school or have my teaching degree. And I guess more than anything else, just try and be the same motivational person that for others that my teachers were for me. I had an English teacher and a art teacher who didn't really give me a choice to whether or not I was going to be a wallflower like I'd been before them. They dragged me out, made me look at life a different way, and taught me to be myself, really. And I actually, probably one of the defining things in my life comes from my old English teacher's classroom. She would sell the tiles in the ceiling for students, seniors to write on and draw on and do whatever they wanted. And one of the greatest quotes I've ever seen in my life, and it's something that just it makes me laugh and it makes me feel good and feel like I have a chance, is the quote was, "Eagles may soar, but weasels don't get sucked into jet engines."
And isn't
So,
your
needless to say, go ahead.
isn't your furry pot weasel?
Uh, Part ferret, but yeah. And that actually has a huge part to play in it, and it carried over to that art class when I met my art teacher. He started talking to me and asking me about the future, kind of like we're doing now. I told him about that, and he was like, "Okay, good. Well, now we know what your final is going to be. I need an image of that." And so somewhere out in the world is a 3 foot tall by 4 foot wide painting of this big furry kind of lounging on a log, picking his teeth with an eagle feather as this jet plane's going down in the distance, and he's just smiling and picking his teeth with this feather.
Gosh. Okay. Ray, what about you?
What's going on? Sorry, I was zoning off. I was listening to the story.
Plans for the future.
My plans for the future. Right now, I started my plans. when I turn 23, I'm aiming to start trying to study for my train conducting license. I'm gonna learn how to drive some trains. I have a huge interest in trains for some reason. I think it was because I never paid attention in school, and most of the time I was just messing around with trains all the time. It seems like I'm a train kid at this time.
So you want to be a conductor?
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do. I like traveling, and the job is mostly traveling. That or I want to be. My second dream is to get my license as an airplane. What do you call it? Airplane? Can't think of the name. Is it?
Be a
Can't
pilot.
think of the name actually. There you go. How did that slip my head?
But you don't own a top hat.
I'll be the most dapper pilot you will ever see.
What about you, Danny?
Wow, someone didn't get the joke. Oh god. I hate to go off topic, but isn't it funny how they were like calling him the Fat Controller is offensive? We must give him a name. Sir Topham Hat.
Hey,
Okay, then.
at least you guys had a peaceful school year. I was called a fatty. It's just my whole day at my school. So I kind of stopped caring
Peaceful
about
school year. I had the hell kicked out of me. Anyway, let's get back to happy dream topics.
My dreams were crushed when I looked in the mirror and I had man titties.
They were crushed by said man titty.
You okay, Tora?
Oh, on a side note, milk does not feel good coming out of your nose.
No, it does not.
Lovely. Okay, we do not condone milk coming out of people's noses. Don't even attempt that.
Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it is milk, not anything else.
Oi, oi, oi.
What?
Behave thyself.
Danny, what about you?
I think that I really want to get myself into a better position in life. A decent job at least. After school and everything. Important to me. And then another thing is I want to acquire the skills that I need to be able to help the people that I care about.
That's sweet.
That's awesome.
Me, I want to get my master's degree, which I'm starting in the fall, and just be able to take care of my family and do what I love most. I'm tired of being a bartender. I want to go into film and TV productions like I'm studying, and be the best parent I can be because I'm not good at it.
Oh, don't even. I'm sure you're an amazing mom.
It gets interesting.
She is a wonderful mom.
How would you know? You're not my kid.
Your kid,
Or is
your
he?
kid's not complaining on you yet. Your kid hasn't called child support on you yet. That's a good thing.
Well, I don't think a baby can pick up a phone. And
I
You'd be
think they
surprised
can pick it up. I
nowadays.
just don't know if they can use it.
Then they'll be able to pick it up. If the baby manages to call 911, I'm gonna be dang impressed about that baby.
I'd be terrified of that baby. That baby knows too much.
All you hear is the door. Boom, boom, boom. Open up. Just the FBI's are on your door.
Did anyone else have any things they wanted to mention for the future?
Never give up on your dreams, even though it's so hard to keep track of them.
Wanting to meet the people that are important to me, namely you guys.
I feel
I'm just a
the same
nobody
way
that
as well.
lives out in the hood.
I thought that's what the trip to Disney World was for.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is for. I've got you covered,
Oh,
Dora.
Jesus Christ! I failed.
I've got you covered on that. I'm saving for you to come with me. I'll pay for your trip to Disney.
I'll be saving too, but like with the fact that
Well,
like
look on the
getting a
Disney
job
World.
in the UK at the moment is hell. Knowing I've got a friend there is just kind of touching, really. Like
If we're going to Disney World in 2 years, I'll join along too. I'll throw some money down.
I want to save at least my like. Okay, Tora, you lived in Florida for a time, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Right. So, and this is still on the topic of dreams because Disney World is a place where dreams come true when you wish upon a star. Anyway, you lived in Florida for a time. Were your dreams ever crushed by tax? Because I'm the outlier here. Because obviously, Raven, you've moved to America. I'm the outlier here as a Brit, and when it comes to buying things, we don't have to go, oh wait, how much extra is that going to cost because tax? Because when you see like the price of something on the label, yeah, that's how much it costs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm moving out of the state then.
But
Screw
like
America,
in
I'm
America,
leaving.
Florida's
In
an
America,
It's the
expensive
same in a lot of Europe.
yeah, in America you have sales tax, and I'm still sitting
Other
here going,
taxes.
I'm still
as well.
sitting here going, what's the sales tax for Buena Vista? Because Disney World isn't actually under the jurisdiction of Orlando. Surprisingly, they have their own jurisdiction because they are a city.
Hmm.
Hmm.
the jurisdiction of Mickey Mouse.
To be perfectly honest, I have no idea how any of that works. I am not at all a math person. I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants when I buy things and hope
Yeah.
that I have enough.
Because the lightsabers are $200 before tax.
Also, I used to live in Florida too. I was born in Orlando and lived there for like the first 7, 8 years of my life.
You never said that, Danny.
Yeah, no, none of us knew
Told
that.
you this before. I have said this before. But it was a long time ago, so I understand.
Danny discussed it when he found out that I lived in
She.
Florida.
She.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Look, you're not doing as bad as I did. I kept calling her Lily.
Oh,
That's just that's something.
Don't get your trans mixed up.
In this society, there's so many different genders. I can't.
Okay,
keep
no,
track of all.
we're not going there. We're not discussing that. It's too controversial.
We're discussing dreams, so I guess
Yes.
one of
My dream
mean-
is to become a something.
If your
Yeah.
dream
I
is
wanna
to
become a
become a
dad.
woman, good for you, but we're not going there.
I didn't want to be a woman. I want to be a giraffe. At this point, I can live my peaceful life out.
But you're not to Hartney Al Jamil.
Hey, I can believe what I am.
Danny, I apologize for them.
That's okay.
I don't even know if anyone here got that joke of me.
No, I got it.
No.
I got it.
I didn't.
Okay.
right over my head.
Go watch the Good Place. It's good.
Oh God.
It's a good place.
Okay, so we've discussed future kind of stuff. What about the weirdest things you've dreamt in your sleep? Now, we're not trying to get our butts demonetized, so keep it appropriate. No, don't use
Okay,
any
I'm-
names.
I
will lock
think
my
I would
dreams
like to.
away for a minute.
I would like to go last on this one because mine's gonna be long and very hard to explain.
So
I can go second.
when I was a kid, and I used to have these recurring nightmares of these like weird gremlin-looking things. I remember them very vividly. There was a blue one which was like a wizard gremlin, a red one which just made my skin burn when it touched me, and I can't remember the other one at the moment. Yeah, there was a yellow and green one as well, but I can't remember what the hell they did. And those were the weirdest nightmares I had, because they always occurred in the house, and it's like, what the flip is going on? So yeah,
Oh, are we starting off nightmares first? Well, if God.
Just any dreams. It's open discussion. Tell your dreams.
yeah, that's weird, and that was my weird. Those are my weird dreams for a very long time.
Well, it can be weird, funny, whatever.
I don't know how to explain it very much. The only nightmare that I keep having recurrently that won't stop recurring back and forth is I see myself later on as an adult I'm looking like a mid 30s, mid 32s, and I always keep having this dream, and it seems so realistic to me because every time I keep going back to that same couch and same house, and this thing is just following me everywhere. And then I can't wake myself up after the dream. Every time it does come to that, it's either when I get killed from the thing chasing me, or I kill myself in the dream. But it always seems to reoccur every day. It's like a recurring nightmare. But it always seems to be the same age and same house, just recurring every place I move. The house seems familiar to me, but I don't I don't know it right now or the address.
Hmm.
It just keeps happening. I don't like it.
What about you, Danny?
Uh, I don't dream a whole lot. I don't sleep a whole lot. Um, but eh, I do have problem with nightmares a whole lot. Is what I dream about. Um, but I do have some, but I can't really talk about those because you want to stay monetized.
Well, I mean, how
Few
bad
and
did
far
they go?
between. Hmm?
How far do they take things? Because that'll.
What do you mean? For what?
On what level? Murder or sexual? Like, how far do they go?
Oh, the latter, not murder.
No, as long as you don't go into, like, over the top extreme detail, we'll be fine.
I mean, I also can't talk about it right now because of situation and stuff.
Gotcha.
It's hard.
But yeah, a lot of nightmares. Those aren't fun.
The,
And I'm an especially vivid dreamer, and when I dream, things are realistic, and it's not fun.
the most, like, I remember bits and pieces of them, but never a complete storyline, minus one, when I was, like, little too. And this was at the point, like, Michael Jackson Thriller was, like, a big thing for some reason. And the video, like, at that age, I was, like, 6 or 7, like, freaked me out.
Which one? When you're doing the skywalk?
Thriller.
Oh God, Thriller.
And I kept having zombie dreams for, like, the longest time. And they were never good ones, they were always nightmares. And the last, definitely not the last one I've had several of them. Actually, I've had enough to the point that in my dreams, actually, my person actually says, no, not again. So,
Yeah.
but I was at school eating lunch with my friends, and through the windows of the cafeteria, the sky was kind of green, and it kind of looked like green algae filled water. It was actually kind of gross, like that color. And you start to hear noises of different things being bashed in, and smell this horrible stench. It was like it was a bunch of rotting corpses, but it smelled, worse. Mix that with whatever mold and earthy materials and dead insects. And we all hid under the tables as stuff got worse. Because they were trying to lock the cafeteria doors and keep us all in the safe, and they still got through. And they busted through the doors, and they actually called for my name. Like, a couple of my friends were, like, trying to keep me down under the tables. And the sound of the guy that could barely talk as is, only got madder and, I guess, more frustrated. And I came out from under the tables, and his words were, if you want to save your family and friends, you will find us. And then everything kind of goes black, and they leave, and there's a couple teachers missing, and my friends are missing. which for a horror dream, considering that's not some of the worst stuff I've had when it comes to that kind of stuff, but pop culture and zombies. Later that night, I am at my aunt's house, DJing her Halloween party, and they come back to the house. Like, they're at my aunt's house once again, but it's not. I run and hide, but I'm found, and it's not the same zombies. It was very familiar, and at the time I'd actually just lost my grandmother on my dad's side, and I was so attached to her too, and it was her, and it looked kind of like some of my other dead relatives. I wasn't sure who, and they kind of told me to come with them, and we all headed back to the graveyard where they took us into a little, I think it's called a mausoleum.
I thought it was
Like from the ground mausoleum. Is that you, Curly?
Oh my god.
But I think
No.
it was 2 levels, which there are some that are like that. But the first one was like regular dead bodies, but it went down like what seemed to be like a winding staircase. And in there were my friends and some of those teachers, like captured in tubes.
Heck.
Yeah, full of this weird liquid, and we got them freed. And that was actually pretty pleasant compared to some of the other zombie dreams I've had.
Mm.
I don't know. And Tora, it is your turn.
Before Tora continues, any music in the background should be turned down so we don't get demoted.
Yeah, Ray.
That don't look at me. I'm over here playing with paper.
Who's listening to
Wait,
music?
is it me?
Not
Is that me?
It sounds like it's
You guys
you.
still hear it? Yeah, let me step away a little bit further. I thought being halfway across the parking lot would be fine, but apparently not. Better?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay, so it is now your turn, Tora, to explain your long dream.
So, to call this a reoccurring dream is not inaccurate, but at the same time, I don't feel it defines it. It's been an ongoing dream. Like, the first time I remember having this dream, I must have been like 12 or 13 years old, and I'm 28, going on 29 now. And I can go anywhere from a month to a couple of years without having the next part of this dream occur. But like it's literally a continuation. Like I wake up in the dream in a bed where I left off the last time I had it. And the whole dream consists of I was abducted and taken to this island, and I'm being made to take part in these different trials and tests and things like that. And I'm having to survive these very, very difficult and very painful tasks, like having to figure out how to get past a swamp that's full of alligators, eels, and things like that, like electric eels, and things like that. Having to fight against anything from animals through, I don't really want to call them demons, but they weren't exactly people, and it's been really intense. And the most recent one I had was about coming up on a year ago now, and I finally found out why I was on this island, like why I got dragged here. I got brought to this island by this rich family because the daughter had decided she liked me, and so her dad decided he was going to take me and put me on their family island and make me go through all this stuff to see if I'm worth having in the family. And the only time I would really call it a recurring dream is when I fail at one of the tasks, because if I fail, I usually wake up and I can't breathe. I'm in heavy sweats. I hurt all over.
I
And
feel you on that.
if I go back to sleep, it starts over, or it'll start over within a couple of days, and I have to go through it again and again and again until I pass. And then it's just on to the next trial, and it's like the last one that I had, I finally got to kind of get a look at where I've been, and because I'm currently in this tower, like working my way up through the different things in the tower, and I would say I'm about a third of the way through everything that I have to deal with. Like, I can see where I came onto the island, and I can see where I need to get to, but everything fenced off and controlled, and I can't like just run straight to the end. I have to go through everything, and I can't get from one area to the next until I've completed the trials. And it's just, I don't want to call it a nightmare or a bad dream, but
It's an RPG.
yeah, pretty much. And I mean, I've had very extreme reactions to it, like to the point of, y'all understand the concept of mind over matter, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Where your brain can believe something so real that your body reacts to it. Well, I've
That's
woken
not
up.
really mind over matter. That's a different psychological thing.
Then I'm using the wrong terminology, but it's been to the point where my mom thought that our family dog had bit me, because in one of the trials I had to fend off this, I don't want to call it a wolf, but I had to fend off this thing, and it bit me. And I woke up and I had a bruise on my thigh. Like, it looked like something huge had bit into my thigh. And my mom thought the dog had done it to me, and it took me forever to convince her that it wasn't the dog. And like,
It's almost like my dreams, where that person every time I wake up, there's always usually a scratch mark or a little cut inside the skin when I'm sleeping or when I wake up from this kind of dream. I have the dream of that person
Yeah.
chasing me. It keeps recurring and recurring, but then it won't stop. Even if I wake up from it and try to go back to sleep, it'll just happen again and again.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's weird and it's hard to explain, and I'm sorry if that doesn't make any sense.
No, we got you. You're good.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone have anything else? I'm sure you've all
I
had
have
freaky dreams.
Nightmares can suck.
If you want to go freaky, I could tell you one. It's legalized. Hopefully you won't get demonetized because it's about nature.
Are there any
just had
sexual
that-
acts in this?
Thrusting with clothes on be declared as that.
So it's softcore.
Yeah, softcore. Yeah, kind of.
I will allow it, but do not go into details.
I just remember one day. I don't know. I think it was the day when I stood up for 5 days straight, and then I took my little cousin to the zoo. We saw some penguins, so it was just a nice peaceful day. Get home after the 5 days, I passed out. My dream occurred of me going back to the zoo, and all the animals are thrusting, every one of them. It was freaky as hell, but I've never seen a penguin thrust before, and that was just the one thing that made that dream weird. That's what I get for staying up for 5 days straight, going to the zoo before I passed out.
I'm surprised you're not insane, because apparently if you stay up over 72 hours, or is it 76 hours, you can get driven insane.
I had some problems a couple next day. I couldn't stop dreaming about the zoo animals softly thrusting their hips. I'm like, I don't want to think of this. You should have saw the giraffe. That was the weird. That one's a little more weird in that I've never seen a giraffe thrust, but that pole though.
Okay.
The weirdest
Oh my
weirdest
gosh.
dream I ever had was it wasn't so. I'd gotten Kingdom Hearts 2. I was
Oh.
still living. I was still living at Hobart House at this point, and I don't know how. That I know that was the trigger for it, because I started getting dreams where I would get just stuck backflipping because my controller broke and Sora would get stuck just jumping all the time. So I had these dreams where I would just be stuck backflipping. I'm like,
God.
so that's the weird dream for me. Is my controller broke and I had a dream. I had like 3 dreams, I think it was something like that, where I just kept being stuck backflipping.
I know the worst dreams are the dreams where I get up for work and start getting ready and actually get to work and start doing my job. And then somebody will turn around and be like, oh, it's time to wake up. And suddenly I'm back in bed and I haven't gotten out of bed and gone to work and I'm so mad.
That makes me think of the dreams I had about like school and college, where someone
Oh,
would
I hate
say
that.
would say a certain thing, and then the next day I'd be at school and they'd say the exact thing that they said in my dream, and I'm just like,
No.
huh, no, no.
No, I don't understand it.
Let's not do this.
Let's not do this. Not now. Ugh.
We have those.
Just have a John
yeah,
Tron
that's
moment of
a-
get out of my
that's a-
brain.
I'll
have
give you.
those.
I'll give you the weirdest dream I had after whoever wants to know.
Just have those dreams where your alarm goes off in them.
Oh, I hate them. I just choose to ignore it though from the time.
See,
So-
my alarm is music, so I never really hear it in dreams. But what I will hear in dreams is like the vibration of the phone on my desk. So yeah, I'll start hearing that in the dream. And then the sound starts playing, and I wake up, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Mine's
Why?
got. I have death metal as my alarm, so it scares the shit out
Gosh.
of me every morning. It scares the shit. And my alarm clock, I rewired it so it's connected to a speaker, so it's not fun in the morning for me. It gets me up, but the only thing you hear in the morning is this the lovely birds ring, and then you just just a loud scream comes from the house of the room. I had noise complaints once. It just sounded like someone was getting murdered in the house. I was like, yeah, that's just my alarm clock. That wakes me up.
See,
So-
I had to stop using music to wake me up in the mornings because it would sway my dreams, and I finally figured out to set my alarm clock like in between channels. But my roommates get so mad at me because it sounds like someone's trying to summon the devil in my bedroom in the mornings because I've got it at this weird mix. It's at this weird mix between a country and a rap station.
Oh god. Oh,
And let me
yeah.
guess, because it's between the two of them, there's static as well.
There's tons
Yeah.
of static. There's screaming. I've got the volume maxed out, and it goes off twice because I sleep through it the first time.
Your roommate's like, oh my god, he's summoning Satan.
Oh my gosh.
One of these mornings, you're just gonna wake up and it's gonna be, "Where's Boo?" As you've summoned Satan.
I'm gonna
See,
I'm
no.
gonna change one of my ringtones to chant, so when they can play it on a subwoofer in the morning when it goes off. I'm gonna
Oh, one of my favorite things that happened once on a server talking about chants. Someone actually was like doing like chants as a joke, and I went, "You realize that's an actual Wiccan chant, right?" And they went, "What? No, and they stopped.
I summon Satan, and you take my soul for some chicken nugget.
I'd sell
What?
your soul for one
Chicken
corn
nugget.
chip."
Oh, that'd be awesome.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
I'll summon soul to Satan.
Nothing, because Klondike bars are terrible.
I
Unless
agree
it's
with
dark
that. They're not good.
I like dark chocolate, so I can get used to it.
Yeah, I
this
wouldn't
isn't
know what
last
they taste
week.
like.
we have something similar to Klondike bars in the UK, and they're called Choc Ices, and they're nice.
So, for that conduct bar in this case, would you summon Satan for it?
Yes.
He seems like a good guy. Sure.
Are you gonna try to
No,
share
you
it
know,
with him?
hey, I will summon Satan and sell my soul for pasta. The prostitute always here.
No, we're not going back to the prostitute.
If I want to sell my soul for it, it's okay.
No, no prostitute. That was food, which Tora missed that food one because we could have talked about cheese.
We could have
Oh,
Hey, have you ever had
keep
that one dream?
Tora away from the cheese. He's a cheese dude.
In his
Have
dreams,
you
he
ever had that
bathes.
one dream?
In his dreams, he bathes with cheese. He's got that Gouda
Fondue.
cheese.
You get that
No.
fondue.
He is literally the guy from Half-Life 2. Sometimes I dream about cheese.
He's gonna sell his soul for cheese.
you know what's funny is I was just thinking, I've had a dream where I made like the best mac and cheese ever, and then I got up and made it.
I'll be right back.
Would you like? So there's an attraction I think near me. I'm not sure how far away it is, but it's called Cheddar Gorge, right? And it's a place where cheese is matured in these caves called, funnily enough, Cheddar Caves.
So I can come and visit, right?
Yes.
They
you
would
can.
go to check on the aged cheese and it'd all be gone.
I'm gonna come back. I'm not even gonna walk through the door. I'm just gonna roll in.
Are you gonna be able to roll in? That's the question.
Well,
Possibly, maybe through the
ironically,
garage door.
saying about rolling while talking about cheese, I'm from Gloucestershire, and here we invented the sport of cheese rolling.
Oh,
So what we're gonna it'll become Tora rolling and get out the butter when he comes to the door after visiting that cheddar cave.
I don't think anyone will let me into the house because cheese does things to my stomach that my roommate despises.
Okay, TMI.
This is why Lexi and
Nick.
Nick stopped you eating cheese, isn't it?
It's why I'm not allowed to go to Arby's. My current roommate. If y'all ever want to hear a funny story, I can tell a story that she will come charging out of her room and scream at me for.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do this. Go ahead.
So, there's a restaurant, in case you don't know what Arby's is, Mika, called Arby's.
I know
where they do-
exactly what Arby's is, thanks to the Miguel.
Okay. Well,
The meat
needless
factory.
to say, I have a personal love for Arby's because they have a sandwich called the Big Beef and Cheddar, or had. It is no longer officially on the menu, but if you ask for a Big Beef and Cheddar, they just make you a double beef and cheddar sandwich. And I get extra cheese and extra Arby's sauce on it. Well, needless to say, this will destroy my stomach, and
I mean,
nobody
That's
wants
also
me
just
around
our
afterwards. But needless to say, one day, this is back when I was working here in San Antonio. I was putting up fences with a friend of mine, and we got Arby's for lunch. And I got 2 of the big beef and cheddars, so 2 quarter-pound just roast beef, cheese sauce, and Arby's sauce sandwiches. Downed them both, had my cheesy fries. I really am a cheese file.
I'm a prostitute.
Anyways.
It's all right.
But
You guys
So-
are making me hungry, and I have food waiting on me.
but
Don't
so
you want some stuffed ravioli?
Okay, so I got home, and it was like 10 o'clock at night because we'd been putting up a fence out on our ranch. And I got home, and I called my then girlfriend at the time, and I was talking to her while I was laying in bed. Well, Crystal, my roommate, and I shared a room at the time. Her bed was on one side of the room, my bed was on the other. There was about 2.5, 3 feet of space between the edges of our beds. And she sleeps with her headphones in and listens to music while she's sleeping. So I could be on the phone, I could move around and not worry about waking her up. Well, I covered myself up, and it's, I want to say, early November, maybe. So it's fairly cold outside, and I, even during the summer, have no less than 3 blankets and 2 comforters on my bed. So I'm curled up underneath all of these blankets and everything, and I ever so daintily passed a wee bit of gas, and I'm laying there, and it happened to like seep up out of the top of the blanket around my neck, and I was like, oh, that's pretty bad, and I start wafting the blanket on the side of my bed, completely forgetting that my roommate is like less than 2 feet away from me, and from dead sleep, like sawing logs, snoring harder than you've ever heard, wakes up and goes, "Oh my God, what the?" and starts screaming and yelling at me, and I'm dying laughing. And I took off running out of the room because I thought she was going to get up and beat me. So I went running through the house, which only made things worse because with every step I'm farting again.
Oh no!
And our friend is staying the night in the living room, and he wakes up because now the smell's in there. The other 2 roommates open their door to find out what's going on, and the smell invaded their room. So Crystal is in the bedroom with her head like inside her pillowcase, breathing her own stank just to get away from mine, while everybody else and the 2 dogs are out on the patio in the cold, and they've pushed me to the far side of the patio because they don't want me anywhere near them, but they can't go in the house. So I stank out a 2-bedroom apartment, even drove the dogs out onto the patio. The dogs were both like trying to get away, and like
This thing don't kill us.
April was like rubbing her face, like, you know how when a dog gets something sticky on the end of their nose or they smell something really bad,
God.
they'll like rub their face. Dude, both dogs were doing that, and then Kat and Blake were cussing at me. The other guy was just mad. I'm dying, freezing to death on the other end of the patio, laughing my ass off, and still farting. They ended up trying to lock me out there, and I wouldn't let them. Like, I got my foot in the way of the door.
Oh, that got
But needless to say, Crystal has officially banned Arby's so long as I am living with her. If I eat Arby's, I have to sleep in my car. I'm not allowed in the house.
See, I've never been to Arby's. I've had American fast food. I will say, the British versions, so British Burger King, British McDonald's, better. I'm sorry, they're better. I think we just have.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
No.
Do you want to get sued? But
Right.
I've heard.
Ray wants to make a joke so bad.
From what I know, Arby's is like the nice way to destroy your insides, and Taco Bell is the evil way to destroy your insides.
That's better. Oh, you have constipation? Come to Taco Bell.
I've never had that problem with Taco Bell, but I do with Arby's.
Oh.
Just don't
It's
eat
so
fast
delicious,
food.
but I can't eat it.
Just don't
I
eat
don't.
fast
Yeah,
food.
stupid joke.
Especially Arby's is delicious, but I can't eat it.
Chuck E.
because it
Cheese
makes
gave me
regret it.
nightmares.
Don't worry.
Who
Tell,
here-
tell, tell us about these nightmares from Chuck E. Cheese, because this is about
Oh, God.
dreams.
This
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I know.
God.
Somehow we got way off topic.
We got on to last week's topic.
Hey,
Oh, no,
um,
last
that
so,
dream thing?
Last week's
So I went-
topic was fine.
No,
So I
that
went to
one-
talk- I went to Chuck E. Cheese when we went to Florida. It's like, yeah, it was when we went to Florida, and it's an interesting place to say the least. When you're a kid, and so I'm in there and I see the animatronics, and I'm not scared by those. No, the animatronics, I know, even if they have unnatural movements and they're nothing like what I saw at Disney World that week. I'm fine. And I was fine at Disney World with Mickey Mouse, and I wasn't scared by that. The moment the mother Chuck E. Cheese mascot tried to talk to me, that's what broke me. That is what broke me. And I
Hey,
started getting
child,
nightmares.
you having fun?
And I'm just this has broken me. And I was like 6, maybe 7 years old at the time,
Oh God.
and I want to go back. Because I also remember
Gosh.
punching said Chuck E. Cheese employee.
He probably got it
Okay.
Tell
right.
me.
So does
While
anyone have anything else about dreams?
I do. I have a dream, and then I have a joke I want to make because I forgot to say it in the food topic. And it's
Think-
I kind of salty with myself.
Think about this dream. Is it appropriate? Not the dream, the joke. Is it appropriate?
The joke?
Yes.
Mild. Mild.
Will it get our asses demonetized?
50-50. No, there's a 75%.
You realise by
chance.
saying asses, we've just been demonetized, right?
Mika, you said a lot worse.
I
Well,
know.
To be demonetized, don't you first have to demonetize?
Yeah, and you can't do that unless you have. I think it's something like
1,000 subs.
If I took
no,
the
1,000
time,
hours of content and 10,000 subscribers.
if I sat
Yeah.
through our D&D games and Topic Tuesdays, you know how many beeps would be in there?
Oh, you're not even allowed to use beeps anymore.
No, it has to be silent.
Yeah, you're not
Oh.
allowed to. You're not allowed to like have beeps because it can be inferred that you're swearing. There's loads of there's loads of stuff that you just can't do now.
Do
YouTube, YouTube's like we want to be advertiser friendly.
Hey,
Trailers for the
give it-
latest
give it about a-
movies
give
have
it
a
about a
ton
year
of
and a half.
swears.
Give it about a year to 2 years, they're going to change it. Where everybody's going to be screaming the F word every 10 seconds. Again.
Okay, but yes, Ray, you had a dream you wanted to share?
Yeah, I'll save the joke for the end of the video. I'll save that for now. Yeah, so... there's
Do you
one
remember
day-
when YouTube had? Sorry to cut you off, but do you remember when YouTube had like that age rating system you could put on
Oh,
videos?
God.
They still do.
They
Yeah,
should
they
just
still do.
They should just, use that and have age-appropriate adverts on that.
Oh, they do, but
You know,
it's real dumb.
we're
It's
blocked
really
for a
easy to
certain
break
age.
in.
Yeah, we are blocked for a certain age. Not that that works. Okay, so Ray, your dream?
Oh, yeah. This one's going to get real weird. So, this is literally where it's gonna start off of. I was binge watching a bunch of anime. Just a bunch of anime with a bunch of group of friends. Then one, because we stood up for a couple days.
Were you watching Black Bible?
We were watching all kinds of anime. Black Bible was part of it. So, going back to that, we binge pressed it. Then, after a thing, because we stood up for a couple days, because I know that we slept for 3 days straight, 3 or 4 days straight. We didn't wake up for anything, we just slept. Throughout those 3 days, I had a dream that I was an anime schoolgirl, living out her dreams with some big old bahangas, going out and fighting demons. It was the 3 days of it passing through. On the third day, for some reason, my dream kept on aging like it was fast in the speed of light. But by the time I got to the final day of my sleep, I was a big old lady with some binoculars on it, fighting demons. It was a fun dream, but nonetheless, I don't know what the hell happened in that dream. It was just everything was just so. Let's see, what's the word? Yeah, sexualized and violent as hell. Very violent. There was lots of killing of things, but it was a dream of slice, and then it turned into a slice of life where everything was just normal and peaceful for a while. I think I watched too much anime, too much violent anime and too much slice of life anime. Got addicted to it.
And
My dreams became one.
And on that note, and Ray's bazongas, I'm going to go on ahead and do the outro because I don't know what this joke is going to bring. So if this video is longer than the outro, Ray made the joke. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. This has been Raven, Danny, Mika, Ray, and Tora, all on the topic of dreams and some other weird crap that came into conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to have a dad joke video so that I can go nuts on here once.
Oh yes,
Maybe.
I will love to be joining on that.
Ray, a joke in case I have to edit it out.
We'll see. I'm gonna use someone. I'm gonna use Mika. Hey Mika,
What?
I think this joke's it's really stupid. It popped in my head just a minute ago when I was talking about food. You be McDonald's, I'll be Burger King because I'll be having it my way and you be McLovin' it.
Nope. Okay. Well, that is the end of this video. Have a great day, everyone. Say bye, guys.
See ya.
You can call
Bye.
me. I'm a salty boy.
You guys are McPains in my butt. 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 Guys are McPains in